Hey, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to address those of you who probably got your bachelor's degree in, I don't know, basket weaving or chemistry, calculus, art history, whatever. Just nothing that has anything to do with healthcare or healthcare administration, right? But you're interested in doing healthcare administration as a career, and you're wondering if you try to go for an MHA, will they even accept you? Okay. So before I get into this question and I discuss that and go over several key points, what I want to do is tell you right now that you need to go ahead and press the subscribe button and then also the bell notification so you don't miss out on all this wonderful, amazing content. And I know you like free stuff because you're probably a student. I like free things, of course, because I'm not rich. Let's go ahead and sign up. The link is in the description. Sign up for my very free, free newsletter. Okay. It's going to provide you with information that just might help you with your career. All right. Okay. Now let's get back to the video. Okay. So you did your bachelor's degree in something that has nothing to do with healthcare administration. Well, guess what? So did I. This was back in the olden days, yes, but my bachelor's degree was in biology. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, that's close, isn't it? No, it's actually not even close, not remotely close at all, because healthcare administration focuses on the business aspect of healthcare, which has nothing to do with the natural sciences. Yeah, absolutely nothing to do with natural sciences at all. Let's see, if I were thinking of becoming maybe a healthcare clinician, like a nurse, that would make sense to do biology. Biology, that's a good base, right? Same thing with if I went to become a physician or anything else like that. But biology has nothing to do with the business aspect of healthcare. So again, I was in that same exact boat, had nothing to do with healthcare administration. Yet I still got into a healthcare administration program. I got my MHA. How did I do it? Well, they have their own set of prerequisites, right? Some will require very specific coursework or relevant work experience when you apply for that MHA program. But many programs out there will actually accept various different academic disciplines as long as they meet the general admission criteria. And, most schools are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be somewhat similar, but a little bit different. The school that I applied to needed a bachelor's degree. Then they had specific requirements about, it was, I believe, business classes or healthcare administration. Like they needed me to have some prerequisites, right? Which I did not have. And then of course I needed to take the GRE and then they had a list of other standardized tests that I can use in place of the GRE. Okay, so many of the graduate schools out there that have an MHA program will be something like that, right? So how in the world did I get it if I don't fit the exact requirements? Well, many schools, especially for master or graduate programs, and especially if you're going for a private school, they when they go through like the applicant process, they kind of dissect the individual a little bit more than a public school. Public schools, they I believe they have more of an algorithm where you kind of have to check off certain boxes in order to even move forward, right? So, what I'm saying is maybe look at a variety of different schools, look at what the requirements are, and maybe try to be very open to going more towards a private school, private institution. Maybe. I know they're a bit more expensive, but just, keep an open mind and just figure out what you can do. Okay. So nextly, I want to point out that many of these schools have bridge programs. So what this is a lot of these universities offer bridge or preparatory courses to help students that are from non-healthcare backgrounds gain the foundational knowledge needed for the MHA program. And that is exactly what happened to me, right? Because I studied biology. I didn't have any of the prerequisites needed for this program, but I think they were interested in me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get to this in the next point. But anyway, the bridge program, what they did allow me to do is before I actually started taking courses that were required for the specific, like business 101 and, some basic like business type classes first. And then they allowed me to, take the graduate program level classes for my program. So the next thing I want to point out is this might not really I get that this doesn't really count for undergraduate degrees, but for graduate degrees, they understand that people, when they're going to grad school, you might not be coming straight as an undergrad or like as a fresh graduate college student. You probably are getting your master's degree after maybe you've worked several years in the field and now you realize you're ready to move up to the next level. You need a master's degree. That happens to a lot of people in graduate programs. You're going to meet a lot of people when you get into a graduate program. You're going to meet a lot of different people from various different walks of life, right? So many times skills that will really benefit you on your application. So if you have skills like leadership, project management, analytical skills, things like that, that will strengthen your candidacy on your application for this graduate program, even if your major is in something completely different, right? They're going to see that, okay, this person is very serious. They also have a lot of life skills that they can bring to their cohort. If you do have a lot of these relevant skills, I think that you're going to be a leader in your cohort whenever you get accepted to that institution. So skills and experience, do not underestimate them. In fact, you want to highlight those on your application. Okay. So next is your personal statement. So your personal statement on your graduate application is a huge deal, right? Your personal statement will explain why you want to transition into healthcare administration. Okay. And you're going to talk about your unique background and your experiences. All of that is going to continue to benefit. You're going to be an asset to the cohort mates that are also in the same program. You sort of move together, right? So when I did this and I had my statement, what I was taught what I talked about as my skills and experience, I talked a lot about leadership. I talked about business ownership, entrepreneurship, things like that, because when I was doing my undergraduate college, the last couple of years, I actually owned a Quiznos franchise. So I owned a sandwich shop. So just because I was, I developed those skills just by running my own business, and so I talked a lot about, and I put that in my application. And they brought, I just a lot of that whole experience when I did my interview to get into this graduate program. So they focused on that when they were asking me questions during my interview. we didn't talk anything about my bachelor's degree or anything like that. And luckily, the school that I applied to, they didn't get the MCAT. I just sent my MCAT first, and they accepted it. So every school's going to be a little bit different. But when you're going into a graduate school, again, you want to focus on what you bring. You know, your personal statement, your skills and experience, that is going to be a big deal. And you want to show them how all of that is going to come together, and it's going to make you successful in this particular field. Okay. So, and again, many of these programs, if you're not really caught up with like their prerequisites and whatnot, they'll just make you take those classes before you start taking your graduate program classes. So usually it's not a big deal if they want you to be in their program. So you can do it, definitely. And I highly recommend that. So if you have any questions about this, getting into grad school or anything like that, please put your questions in the comments. And again, do not forget to sign up for my free newsletter. All right, guys. Now have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.